Alright, it's not something I normally make, but I just want to show you, but I do want to show you guys how I make gmod machinimas, or at least how I start on before I end up losing motivation canceling, but I am going to show you, first off, get the HUD out of here and the physics beam. Well, first off, put the camera here. We're going to spawn up a character. It could be any character. Also, just try and ignore players. It can really be any character, but for example here, I'm going to go with Soldier from Team Fortress 2. You know. Now, for basic like setup scenes and stuff, all right, here I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna like pretend. Okay, so like here, first I usually like to do puppeteering because it's a lot easier and it's funny ragdoll physics. Well, I have the gore mod on, but whatever. I mean, whatever. To be fair, it's probably gonna contain violence and death anyway. Horrible demise. So we'll just put this here. Anyway. So, however, another thing I usually do add is our ragdoll walkers that I get from the workshop. For example. Alright, again, for example, just to stay within the video, I'm gonna spawn in again, we're gonna put in Soldier. And we'll okay, so like the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't know how to make my own walker for the life of me. Because every walker I've tried to make failed miserably. So I'm gonna not. So I mean, this one's not the best, but it's an example nonetheless. Also, this one uses the arrow keys. However, all right. So, for example, I'm gonna make. I'm going to do something kind of interesting here. Car. For example, now, I'm going to do a scene where Heavy does not look both ways. Oh, shit. I missed, but another thing is, okay, pretend Heavy gets hit by a car. And, something. Now, another thing I like to do in my machinimas is chase scenes. For example, we're gonna have what is that? Hold on. Fists. Yeah, for example, well, obviously, that didn't go well because, well, Fredbear is absolutely a speed demon. But, another example I'm going to do is okay. So we're gonna have a chase between Stuffed Freddy and so like in case I ever like chase scenes, anything to do with FNAF, we'll just do like also stop motion. But also, alright, so alright, example, I'm gonna make a bit of a scene where Spy okay, so I'm gonna be Soldier and Spy's gonna be running away from me with a walker. Or yeah, just pretend Spy's trying to sneak around and Soldier's trying to get his ass. And then I'll ignore players. And for example, we're gonna put now we're gonna have now, for example, we're gonna have pretend that Spy stabs the medic. I'll see if I can get him to stab him. Come on, Spy. Come on, buddy. Get him! Stab his ass! Shank him! Get him! Whoops. Or I guess we could have Spy fail and kill and die horribly, but so we're gonna put guess I can't seem to really make good murder scenes, so alright, so for example, another thing I do is like when I'm doing a character expression, hold on. Okay, we'll get the Pudis man himself here. The Pudis man, the main the main deal himself, Heavy, the fat Russian man. All right. For example, face poser. For example, if I want to make him, happy, very happy, big, I'll make him very happy, big. However, if I want to make him say stuff, yeah, I'll make him say something. Like, I'll put him in sync. Hello, comrade, it is me, Heavy from Team Fortress 2. And Jake 412 is making machinima. Sorry, it's my best Heavy impression, but but you can get them, you can like put them in. And another method I like to use, and you guys saw it like a bit. I'll is stop motion. Stop motion is stop motion. I mostly do this when the characters are saying something. Is when the characters are saying something like example, now you saw I was taking screenshots there. Yeah, that is how you do stop motion, and you do stuff with the face poser. Now, in case you want to have like something exaggerated, you go, ah no, oh no, go, oh no, oh no, I am going crazy. Or I sound more Italian than Russian. I am going crazy. Ah! Okay. Whatever, we'll just throw Heavy off. So we'll, disintegrate. So, you know, you can have a bit more gore splatter, because I love gore splatter. Alright. Alright, so if I'm just like gonna have the characters vibing and dancing, another tool I like to use now that is convert to animated prop, and for example, engineer's gonna do the Kazutsky kick, going into the woo as he does it. Normally, that's what I normally do in the regular Team Fortress 2, but if you just want to have like background stuff, or like when you're doing a dance club, just put on a random, just put a ragdoll, put a dance move, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. That, at least like if a character has the animations. Alright. Alright, now for something somewhat different. For example, if I want... For example, if I'm making a fight between soldier from, or engineer from Team Fortress 2, I probably should have. And heavy on the camera. For example, I'll have engineer punch Freddy, and for example, if I want to have Freddy's head come flying off, well, first off, obviously you don't want just his body to be the only part that falls off, but I'll have Freddy's head go flying off like this, and have his body pose as if it's about to fall. Or, I guess just have it fallen, I don't know, but... Importantly... Now, another thing is you're going to want the camera to, like, be centered. Like... And, like... And just have this, like have Freddy's head after him being decapitated by Engineer. So, not the best looking, but it'll do. Here's Engineer's head flying, or Freddy's head flying off. Alright. Or if, for instance, you want... Or another instance is I could have... I do have the gore mod too, so you could also have... This is for dramatic effect. Yes, you could have the characters fall off of buildings and die. Horribly. If you want, of course, with the gore mod. The gore mod... Now, if you have a gore mod, you could probably do that. Or people just use Gibbs. Personally, I like to just use the gore mod. It makes things a lot easier when you're, like, doing horrible death animations. Like, for example... we're gonna have... Now, I did make a bit of a scene. I did make a little project that has now been scrapped called 5 Nights with a Golden Penis Golden Freddy. Where Golden Freddy straight up eats him like Penis Cupcake would. Yeah, so if you want someone to be horribly eaten, you have blood, gore, and the character's exploding, or even better. Or even better, if you want, like, let's say, good a good injury to occur, an injury scene where let's say for all intents and purposes, Heavy is walking down the street suddenly. Oh no! He trips on something, and oh no! He breaks every single bone in his body. Now explodes. Or you could say, one day Scout was running and then he tripped and then weapons. Obviously, I'm not gonna use a camera because that's not gonna really be because I didn't really do that very well. But an example is you can have Scout running and he broke his leg and now he's in pain. And now he's in pain. Now he fell. He broke part of his body. I guess he broke more than I intended, but now he's in pain. Now he must fall and die. Okay. Anyway, here's the camera. What else? What other ways do I make my machinimas? I'm trying to think of what other ways. Or if Alright. Let's say... Alright, so we're going to have... Demo Man, who is just drunkenly standing in the way of a moving car. So... Hold on. For example, Demo gets hit by a car, and he breaks both his legs. Okay, that's good. Now, we're going to have him fall. Or more or less, he gets torn in half. And then how I do it is I take a picture. Oh, whoops. And not the best angle, but it'll show the injuries. Unfortunately, I'm still learning a bit how to make machinimas. Hopefully, we'll have something good. But anyway, yeah, that is how I make my machinimas. I've attempted multiple times to make a gmod machinima with not very good results. So, hopefully we can get better results hopefully over time we'll get better at this, but that's how I make my machinimas, and if I ever get better, I'll make an updated video on how I do it. So, yeah. thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and hopefully we'll see you soon.